kati bw'ogiraba ebiseera ebyo ng'erinnya oba ogitunda.
Perfect. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome yet to another learning lesson for today. My name is Wealth Coach Julius. Um, I have some few insights. I expect the market to go extremely down, and the reason why the market's gonna misbehave, friends, is because MGX, one of the big holders of Bitcoin, is going to be selling close to over 14,400 Bitcoins, giving profits to its customers throughout this week. So we could see a rally to the downside, friends, extremely throughout this week. But like I usually say, many people get checked out of the market because they cannot handle. Yeah, because they cannot handle the pressure of the market. And many people go back to the life they said they didn't want when they got started in crypto. And simply because they get shaken out. They get shaken out. Friends, they get shaken out. And as they get shaken out with the strong warriors keeping the market, and we are here to stay. Okay, we are here to stay with the strong warriors. So we always stay around because we know the weak boys and girls will be shaken out. They'll be shaken out. But the shaking out could happen to anyone. But the most important thing, friends, is to manage your capital and to understand that whatever you buy is an asset that you can hold and you stay in, because what is coming, friends, will be everybody will be caught. You see, I love telling a story. But today, I want to start my training with a story. And it is a phenomenal story that I love to talk about. It is one of my learning story. And my story for today, friends, I will do an audio about it. I wanted to do it yesterday, but I was not able to do that. Okay, friends, there is a farmer, and this farmer had a magical goose, and this magical goose that laid golden eggs. And once upon a time, a farmer and his wife who left in a dwelt town, friends. The farmer and his family were very poor. The farmer used to grow vegetables. He would then go to the town and sell those vegetables and earn a living. One day, the farmer decided to save some money. Slowly, as the day went, the farmer saved a sum of money. And with the money he saved, he bought a goose. Like some of you decided to buy royal cube, so you purchased your goose. So the farmer and his wife hoped that the goose will lay eggs that they can use for breakfast and can also sell in the town. So he took the goose home and built it a nest in which it could lay the eggs. When he went to check the eggs the next morning, he lifted the goose, and to his surprise, the goose had laid a golden egg. The farmer informed his wife. They were surprised by the golden egg. They woke up the next day to find another golden egg. The farmer decided to sell the golden eggs laid by the goose. Happy with the golden eggs, the farmer slowly became wealthy. Like some of you, you have started to change your life because you have started to make some profits. But one day, the farmer's wife said that the golden goose lays only one egg a day. And this is some of you. When you start making some profit, you start complaining. But the problem with this market, it gives me little profits. I want more. I want more. I want more. Okay, good. Thank you for liking more profit. Then the wife said, what if there could be a way to collect all these eggs at once? This would mean that we can become richer quickly. That is how some of you behave with the market. What if there could be a way? I put all my capital at once. Take 5%. Take these 3% of the signals they are giving. I could be rich very fast. Buy that car. Stay in that house. Marry a wife. Change location. So the farmer agreed to this. They both decided to open the goose to collect all the eggs at once. And this is some of you. They cut the goose, but to their surprise, there were no golden eggs inside the goose. The farmer and his wife cried as they realized that they killed the golden goose, and now they were not able to get any golden goose ever. They became poor again and they regretted their decision. Now, this is how some of you behave with the business. When you start making some profit, you become super duper excited. It's like these people who are on what we call the crypto games, the play to earn games that appear on Telegram, that are everywhere. Someone stops doing their activities, and whenever you find them, they tell you as how they are focused on the game. And because the Notcoin gave them some money, they have a mentality. They have become addicted to the games. They are no longer doing what they are supposed to do because they are waiting for the magic to happen. Congratulations. Your mindset is being drained. Is being drained by the inability to understand the psychology of the business. What gives you the power to cut your own goose, to put all your capital once, because you have seen that the business will be super amazing? Gives you the power, friends. So today we are going to look at the Fibonacci. As I take you through these trading experiences, friends, I want you to understand that it is true that the crypto market space is like a golden goose that lays golden eggs. But do not cut the golden goose. Give me one in the chat if you are following. Do not cut at the golden goose so that you get all the gold at once. Your ability to be successful is going to be a process. Your ability to make a lot of money is going to be a journey. It's not a destination. Do not compare results. Do not complain about other people's results. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Understand that the journey will have ups and downs. Understand there will be requirement for you to put in more capital. Understand that you should not get your capital in one trade at once so that you get all the golden eggs at once. Hello, are we there? Are we following? Because I want to now share my screen. Let me know if you have been able to learn something. If you have been able to learn something, let me know if you have been able to learn something. Now, this is not a financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor with anyone. Understand why you are in the crypto market space. You find that someone has stopped to analyze the market. Someone has stopped to talk to people because he's doing hamster, because he's doing bar, because he's doing tap swap, Those games will not change your life. They are just addictive games. You need to manage your time. I told one of my friends last week when I was doing a meeting, and I told him, Julius, do you play these games? Yes, I do. But I play these games only twice. Twice a day. The rest of my day, I'm focused on why I'm in the space. And unless you learn that behavior, we might look at you by the end of 2025 when things are not your way. Lastly, before I share my screen, friends, we might see a downward movement of the market this week. And the reason is happening because MGX is going to be paying its customers over 144,000 Bitcoins. So we could see an amazing sell in the market. But let me warn you, do not get shaken out. Do not get shaken out. Do not sell at a loss. Be patient. If you have power to add in more capital, please do. Because when we look at the dynamics of the market, you see, friends, I know most people do not go deep into the crypto market space, but when you look at the dynamics of the market, like I said before, we are in the bull run. I want to make it clear. We are in the bull run. And the market is repeating the history it did 2020, 2021. I may not dig in details. We are in a bull run. What we have not had is what we call an alta coin season. Give me a 2 in the chat if my message is clear. What people want to see, people want to see the market shooting. I want to make it clear. We are in the bull run, but we are not yet in the alta coin season when there is too much liquidity. But when we look at the statistics of the market in the past and in the current, the market is still on an uptrend. But we have not yet got into the alta coin season. And so that's why we teach you this skill, so that you take advantage of the moves that are happening in the market. Okay? Having said that, allow me now share my screen and let's get into the topic for today, my brothers and sisters that are on the call this morning. Beautiful. Okay. If you can be able to see my screen, could you give me a 1 in the chat? If you can be able to see my screen, could you give me a 1 in the chat? Okay. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at the Fibonacci tool, an amazing tool, one of the tools I like most. Leader Minata, if you're on this call, there is a question you asked me recently. I was not able to do a video for you simply because it was not easy for me. But if you are moving this tool around your screen, the tool has those dots below. If you can be able to see them. So what you need to do is to tap here and then you move it in any direction. If you don't want to see them in your screen, my sister, you will find that at the bottom here, there is this star thing. When you tap on it, they will always disappear off your screen. So you can return them, remove them, or tap here, and then you drag it anywhere. Like I could tap. So I could remove them, or I could return them, but I could move them anywhere in my screen. So you long press on your PC, and then you move them anywhere you want to put them. So you can place them anywhere on your screen. So I'll just place them at the bottom here. Good. Now, today we are looking at a tool. So friends, what we need to do is just to come here on tools, these ones. And there are many. We have the Fib retracement, and we have the Fib extension, the Fib channel, the Fib time zone, the Fib speed resistance, the trend based Fib time, the Fib circles, the Fib spiral, the Fib speed spiral, speed resistance axe, the Fib wedge, the pitch fan, and so many. But we are not going to learn all of them. We are going to learn the Fib retracement and the trend based Fib extension. And how we're going to do this, the use of this tool, friends, is very easy. It's the easiest tool you can use. Okay, one, identify extreme lows and extreme highs. In my screen, the formula is simple. You all can see that this is the lowest point and this is the highest point. So we are going to get our Fib tool, press it here and extend it here. So this will be the lowest and this will be the highest. Okay, and let's do that first. All right, so I'll come here. I'll come here and I'll pick the Fib extension. So I press it from the lowest point. Then I stretch it, going to the right, friends, because the market moves from the left to the right. Okay. And I hope all of us can see. This was the lowest point and this is the highest point. And you see, friends, when we tap on this indicator like this, we can be able to see how we can set it up if we want. Okay, if we want, you see we have zero line 33.8. We were doing this yesterday. And if you want, you can tick more lines, or you can have this to be enough. To me, personally, these are enough. To me personally, these that are in are enough. So basically, these are the lines. And when I increase my light for you to see, how many of you can see that we can see that this retraced to a very important area? And friends, I just want to remind you that also the 78.6 line is usually an important area here. Is usually an important area. So remember, we say they act as support and resistance. And now we see it at the 61.8. And so now this one gives us the trend of the market. And this means that the previous trend was an uptrend. We also expect this trend after this retracement to be an uptrend. But the biggest question, how do we get our targets? How do we get our targets to exit this market? Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to pick another tool. So we are going to come here on the Fib extension again. Then we draw it from the highest point to the lowest point. From the highest point to the lowest point. As simple as that. But now, to reduce the confusion, friends, I'm going to remove the color from this indicator. Okay? I'm going to remove the color so that it doesn't have any colors in between, so that we can be able to it doesn't have the background. Okay? We are going to just make sure that it doesn't have the background, so that without the background now, we can be able to see the lines very well. So I'm going to remove the background like I've done. Okay? Are we following? Give me one in the chat if you're following. So the first step, you pick extreme low and extreme high. You draw your Fib tool from the extreme low to the extreme high. Then, to get your targets of exit in the market, friends, you still pick the Fib. You draw it from the extreme high to the extreme low. As simple as that. Now, to avoid confusion, I'll first remove the first Fib. Okay, to avoid confusion, but I'll return it later. Now, friends, first and foremost, we drew from the extreme low to the extreme high. And we said you need to put your focus on the golden ratio area. And the golden ratio area is 61.8. And we said yesterday, this golden ratio area or golden ratio line, you can always ladder your buys. You see, this was the 61.8. It was around here. And this was 78% line. So you make sure that you can ladder your buys to have some, because this is usually an important area on the previous one, not on the current one. Now, since now we have drawn from the highest to the lowest, we want to get our targets. And in simple terms, my friend, this is the easiest way of making money. This is the easiest way. If you had got in here and you laddered, you bought more up to around here on the 78. Okay. Now your target is either here or here. Your take profit will be at the 50% line or at the 38.2. But your most target should be the 38.2% line. This should be your target of take profit. I'm going to show you different examples. This is what I mean. So now you pick your price range. You entered from here. Let me say you did not open margin calls, and you would have taken a sweet 13%. Let me repeat. I'm going to do so many examples until you understand. We're using the Fib tool. Let me pick another one. I use a bigger time frame so that I could be able to I use a bigger time frame so that I could be able to make more things much more easier. Okay, now here, the example is different. I'll usually say that it is important for you friends to always be able to look in the history of every coin you are picking to trade. Okay? All right. Okay. So I will increase my light so that it could be very easy. So you just pick two extreme lows and two extreme highs. As simple as that. Okay, I'm just looking for a better example, although I'm going to be able to draw on all, but I'm just looking for a better example to avoid confusion for the start. But I'm going to give all examples. Okay, so now here, the formula is simple. The formula is simple. So I'll come here, pick my Fib. This is the extreme low to the extreme high. This is the low to the high. Then at the same time, I hope we can see that the market retraced at the 50% line. Those who were here yesterday, you remember when we discussed that in details, and I said that when the market moves from the lowest point to the highest point, it can retrace. So let me remove this so that I come again very clearly. I want people to understand. The formula is simple of using this tool. You come and pick any point from the extreme low to the extreme high. Now, if we are using this history, this was the extreme high, because this is now current. This was the extreme high. And you can see the market retraced at the 50% line. When it moves here, it went high. Then it retraced at the 50% line. Now, it is an important area. I told you yesterday that you can always join a trade from the 50% line and open up margin calls up the 61.8 or the 78.6% line. Now, having seen that, just to avoid confusion, I'll remove it. Okay, now I can pick my Fib from still the extreme high to the extreme low. And now let me widen my screen. This is how you get your targets of exceeding the market. And I've told you, at your entry, this is very easy. At your entry, you entered from here. Take profit at 38.2% line, and you had a comfortable 5%. This is your first target. If you want to go in more, the maximum should be 15%. That's where we take our profit using this strategy. It's a very simple strategy. You pick the highs, you pick the lows. So you will take profit, friends. You take profit in between the 38 and the 50% area. You take profit here or here. This is where you take your profit. Let me give more examples until you understand. This Zoom can now hold close to over 500 participants. So you should give the link to your team members. So let me pick another example. I can pick any. Good. Let's go. So I will take this. I told you need to backtrack. Make sure you backtrack any trade. Please, friends, if you want to trade, it is important as a trader, you backtrack. Tracking. The word is called track. You go back in the history and look at how this trade performed. All right? So let's go. We bring our Fib tool. Okay, from the lowest point to the highest point. Lowest point to the highest point. Good. Okay, now take chances. Take chances whenever you see the market around the pocket area or the golden ratio area. Never miss out on chances because, my friends, usually there is opportunity. Whenever the market touches the 61.8% line, take chances. Do not sleep on that opportunity. Take chances. Remember, these lines act as support and resistance. Never forget these simple facts. So if you are a trader, you will take chances because you have high chances of making profits. You have high chances of making profits. So if you had entered from here at this level, open up margin calls, understand that this could be a resistance here and this could be a support up to this line, the 78.6, because it's a major line. Now, let's say you entered from here. I'll just mark it from there. Okay, so I'll remove this and I'll delete this. I'm still in learning purposes, but on my next choice, I'll just draw it. Okay, now, then I'll bring my Fib tool from the extreme high to the extreme low. Now, the extreme low in this case, friends, was this one. How many of you understand what I'm saying? It was not this one. Because this is current, but still it works. I don't know if I'm making sense to someone. It was not this one. Here I'm attacking currently. But if I was using the history we have seen, the extreme low point either was this one or here. Any of this. Either this or you had missed this, then it was this one here. This one here. And if you had used this amazing trick, friends, from here to the 38.2, it was a comfortable 19%. Are we learning? Any questions? I've increased this Zoom to 500 participants. So it is open. Share your team. I've increased it to 500 participants in the last few hours. I had to change so many Visa cards to see if it works out. But finally, I partnered with another company for a new Visa card. Okay. Are we following? I want to give as many examples as possible. Simple. You look at the trend. You look at extreme lows and extreme highs. Let me pick another trade. I will go with a live example. I have no issues. Okay? I have no issues. Okay, let's take this example here. This is the lowest point. And this is the highest point. Simple as that. Okay, let's take this example. This was the highest point. So you entered here at 61.8, opened margin calls. You entered here. Now, let's bring our Fib tool, because I saw someone saying, what about around? Let's take our Fib tool now from the highest point to what was the lowest point, which is this one here. And my friend, let me widen my screen. Let me widen my screen. So you got it. You got in from here. You opened margin calls down here. All right. Okay. So I'll take this where you got it, and you take your profit at the 38.2% line, which is this. And this was a comfortable 3%. A comfortable 3%. Remember the rule of taking profit. You take 2/3 of the journey. Give me one in the chat if you have been following closely. Our take profit tree. Give me a one in the chat if you remember our 2/3 journey take profit tree. I'll give many examples until you understand. Let me look for another trade. So it is on a down trade, but before it came to the down trade where it is, you have already made profit. Let me find another trade. Backtrack every coin you want to trade. You need to look at the history, because technical analysis is looking at the past to predict the future. That's all. Now, this one is still on a downtrend, so I don't see any business of me continuing with it. Okay, let's look at this trade, friends. Let's see if it had some good profit. So we want to minimize our screen, and it depends on how much you are trying to look at, but it's still fine. Okay, so if this was the trade, so let's take an example here. Get your Fib, Asimwe Eno. Get your Fib from the lowest point to the highest point. Okay, I see. So I made my entry here, opened my lines up to here. You see here, from the highest to the lowest. Okay, let me bring my Fib. Now from the biggest to the lowest. And that is where we go, from the highest to the lowest. And this is the lowest point. And this time round, things did not move with your way. Now that's where I wanted. Because the challenge with so many people who join cryptocurrency trading and doing technical analysis, they believe that every day will be a Sunday. Some trades you will win them, some trades you will not win them. Give me one in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Every day will not be on your side. So you entered from where? Where is the line? The 61.8. You entered from this line. And instead of the market, it went down. You had opened margin calls up to this line straight. Okay. Now, let us look what took place. So I'll just delete this. No. I'll just delete this. Just a minute. Let me delete all so that I join again. Come again. You know, this is the challenge. You see, someone picks a trade by themselves and they start complaining. Oh, my money, the market, la. Not every day will be a Sunday. No, you can't use the current price. No, you can't use the current price simply because this trade is still moving. this trade is still moving. Now, I don't know, but I know what you are looking for. You are looking for a signal. You are looking for a signal. Okay, let's go from the highest point to the lowest point. There you go. Bitcoin is still on a downtrend, but it's fine. But now the reason why this cannot work for you is because now we are drawing from the highest point to the lowest point. It means we expect the market to retrace here. Okay? From here to here. And the market moves from the left to the right. Now, if we want to ascertain our targets here, now, we need now to look back in the past. But it is very easy. We just need to use a lot of history backwards, either in a bigger time frame. Let me do it for you. Okay, we can use the bigger time frame because it will be more powerful. Okay, there you go. You use the history. Let's go. Okay, so I'll take from the lowest point to the highest point. There we go. This is it. I'm going to use your current price. I can stretch it to as far as the market can go. There we go. There we go. I hope you can see it very clearly. Now, from the highest to the lowest, it remains the same principle. From the highest point, the lowest point. And the lowest point now is this one here. And definitely, as a trader, there is no opportunity here. Why? Because you did not get into this trade around here at the golden area. You need now to find a trade that will be able to find when it is at the golden area. Now, this is an opportunity that left you. Am I speaking to someone who was telling me to find for you at the current price? You follow the trend, as simple as that. Thank you, Proscovi. Now, here there is no opportunity because this opportunity left you long time. Give me one in the chat if you're understanding. The strategy, you want to find a trade that is at the golden ratio area when you draw your lines. I don't know if someone is understanding. For example, look here. And those trades are always there. This is in 1 day. Let me push it to 4-hour time frame. Those trades are always there. Let me say I'm here on this trade. I'm here on this trade. So I bring my Fib tool. From this is my lowest point. Either I can take this. This is my lowest point. This is my highest point. Now, this trade is just planning to retrace. I don't know if I'm making sense to someone. This trade is planning to retrace. So what do? I can set a preset price at this point. I can go to Royal Q, set this as the preset price on this coin. So that when this coin falls down to 61.8 here, it buys. Give me a two in the chat if you can understand that. I go and set a preset price in Royal Q as I'm trading. I look for this coin ray. Then I say, when the market touches this point, let my robot buy. Then I open margin calls from here up to here. How many of you can see that this is resistance and this is support? How many of you can see that this is resistance? How many of you can see that this is support? Give me a 5 in the chat if you can see that. How many of you can see that this is a support area? This is a resistance area. Give me a 5 in the chat if you can see that. Now this coin is up here. I see my golden area will be here. So I set this as a preset price. So I wait. So I find so many coins. I'm speaking to someone who was looking for a trade. I do this on so many coins to increase my probability of which one picks first. Look at Beck. I come here on Beck. Let me reduce. I bring my Fib tool from the lowest point to the highest point. I set my preset price at this area. Hey, what's up? Just a minute. What's up? Okay, so now, are we following? So I put a preset price. I put a preset price. I'm speaking to someone who was saying, I put a preset price at this point. I wait for Beck to retrace. Now, how will I know my target take profit? That's where will I know my targets? So I put my take profit there. Now, I will wait. I'll get a notification as soon as my coin will buy. So I could have given it a 2% or a 3%. I don't care. Then I wait. I come back here. Let me remove this. Then I will wait. This is my take profit. Then after the retracement, I will just come back here on my trade, draw it from the highest point to the new lowest point. Let me say the new lowest point is around here. The new lowest point. So it bought and maybe the market went down a little bit. So it will be around, let me say around there. I'm trying to use this support area down here. How many of you can see it? There is a support. I'm trying to take this. Maybe the market retraced around there. How many of you can see this support, this one? Is a support here. Give me a 3 if you can see this support. How many of you can see this support? So I'm taking this support to be my last point where the market will retrace. Let me draw the line. So I draw here a line at this point. So I said, I buy from here. Let me remove that drawing. So I buy from here. I wait for the market to come down here. That is my support. So I'll pick my Fib retracement from this highest point to where I expect the market to be supported. And if it drops, my margin calls. So if I'm sharp enough, I'll just open margin calls. So I'll measure from my entry point to here. It's around the 1.8. So I'm waiting for the market to come down, touch my golden area, come down, pick my margin calls. All right, then my take profit. So just come here. I entered from here, and my take profit will be here. It will be a 3%. I can do this to as many trades as possible. Look at this one, how sweet it was. I don't care. Where is the lowest point? So it is up to me. I can pick from here maybe here. That was my what? My highest point. Or I can still go back to history. I can still go back to history, friends. I use history. I don't waste time with that magic that I was trying to show you. I can still go back to history, my brothers and sisters. I can still go back to history. You are getting headache for nothing. I come here, I use this. This is the history I want to use. Still, to trade currently, I draw from my lowest point to the highest point. I can even go as far as this. But let me take this as an example for someone to see. There. I end at 61.8. Now I know that is going to be my entry. I draw there a line. That is my horizontal line. Good. So I remove this. If it is causing confusion to you, you delete it. Then you go back again. Bring your Fib retracement from the highest point to the lowest point. This was the lowest point. This was the lowest point. This was the lowest point. And comfortably, you would have taken comfortably, if that was your entry, to 38.2, you would have taken a comfortable 14%. Take profit at between 38 and 50, but I recommend 38.2%. Is this hard or it is easy? Let me know. Now, don't forget we have looked at other indicators, like which ones? We have looked at indicators like the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence indicator. Put it up. We have looked at which other indicators? We have looked at indicators like the RSI, the relative strength index. Put it up. When I look at my RSI, how many of you can see that it was indicating me down here? How many of you can see that this was indicating me down here, that the crossovers happened? I don't know if I'm now making sense. Let me remove this. How many of you can see? How many of you can see? You see? Here, the crossover had happened when I got in. And the crossover had happened here when I'm already out. You see, if you could draw a trend line, some of you are forgetting. You can draw a trend line on a stochastic RSI. You see, when you draw a trend line on this arrow like this, you see that the market is on an uptrend. And when you draw a trend line or a horizontal line at this, you see the market's being resisted. Like you draw trend lines on candles, you can draw trend lines on the stochastic RSI. Someone who's new is now getting confused, but that's the reality. We have learned a lot, but now we are combining. Am I confusing or making it easy? It is just confusing maybe to the new people. Am I confusing or making it harder? Because now we started serious business. We are now doing serious business. Though if I want to trade this coin, and I want to use the Fib already, the MACD is showing us that the coin is on a downward trend. The MACD is showing us that the coin is on a downward trend. The RSI is showing us that the market is on a downward trend. So what do? Okay, we bring our Fib, our Fibonacci, from the lowest point to the highest point, either at the wick or the close of the candles. And we say, we are going to set up a preset price in our royal queue for the robot to buy at the 61.8% area. I told you in the brackets, it has a price. Okay, so we put up a horizontal line at the 61.8% area, which at the same time looks like a minor support area. So we put up a preset price. So we were waiting for the market to come and touch. Then we open margin calls. So after we have opened margin calls, we are looking at this, which was the support area. So I'll remove this now. Then I say, okay, where is my Fibonacci? From the highest point, I may not take it so much, but I can move it the other side if I want, to the lowest point. But the market moves this side, so I will wait. I'll wait. The market is around this area. So once it drops lesser than my what? It drops a little bit lower, then my take profit will be 38.2 here. So this gives me the preset price. The take profit, I could put minimum around 3%. Then I come back, check my trade. Now, the biggest question is, when will I know that my robot has triggered? It will buy. It will send you a message of purchasing if you want to use that as a trading tactic. But at the same time, you can still find trades that are giving you what you are looking for immediately. They are always there. There are always trades, friends, that will give you what you are looking for, as long as you are good at searching for trades. I don't know, am I making sense to someone? So I'll just reduce my screen to backtrack this coin. I told you the business is in backtracking. If you cannot backtrack, you can't trade. This coin, the way I hate it. Can I even backtrack it? KSM. KSM, even when I die, should not come on my body. KSM should not even come on my body. You KSM, when I see you, I will come for you. But I'm just joking. I'm never serious. Yeah, it should not come, my friend. The coin over misbehave. When I see it, I will come for it. Okay, so let's get to the chart. Just backtrack. It's just backtracking. I just come here from the lowest point to the highest point. Either I could go for this or I could go for this. It's up to you. Then I find my entry price, 61.8. Then I say from the highest point to the lowest point. Someone was asking me, let us go with current price. Highest point to lowest point. I made my entry at the 61.8 line. Now I'm going to share something. I entered from here. From here. Now, when I entered from here, I opened margin calls. Now, it means that I'll be making my exit in this trade at the 38.2, which could be from here to here, which is an 8%. But when you don't trade with margin calls, that's where I want to go, and I come to the end. Have you seen that the market could go against you? Have you seen that the market could go against you when you don't trade with margin calls? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, then it's time. Have you seen that the market can go against you if you don't trade with margin calls? So margin calls are key. Margin calls are key. Margin calls are key. Because things can change anytime and you start sweating. Now look at this coin, DXY. Okay, DXY. Let's take DXY as the last example for our learning for today. Lowest point, highest point. This did not hit your take profit target. You see, it came down. If you had seen it up here, it entered 38.2 and it went up. But we say that's a reversal area. So if you miss, so you will not be able to take all opportunities. It just depends on which strategy you are using. Give me one in the chat if you understand. You won't be able to trade all coins. You will miss some and hit some. That's why how trading works. You hit some, you win some. How do I calculate margin calls? Margin calls are better calculated with support and resistance. For example, margin calls are calculated with support and resistance. What happened? Okay. I picked this coin from this lowest point to the highest point. Good. My entry point was 61.8. This one. I entered from here, the golden ratio area, to increase my probability. Okay, so let me remove it. Let me remove the Fibonacci. Now, let's draw another fib from the highest point to the lowest point. You opened margin calls. Now, your margin calls would be, just to remind you, my brother, they should be targeting from your entry point to this area where the market was previously supported. All minor supports and resistance in between, like this one, like here. You see, this was a support. So you would measure from your entry, which was this one, to this, and this would be your margin calls, 1.647. It's up to you to say it will be 1 or there will be 2. And if your robot bought down up to here, and from your entry, and if you wanted to take a profit, this is very little. It's around 0.6. But if you had entered from here and opened margin calls up to here, your profit will be awesome. So you will win some, you will not take all. You will win some, but this coin is good. All right, friends, thank you so much for today. We want to thank you for joining the call, and we want to wish you an amazing, fantastic day, unless there are questions. But if not, we would like to come to the end of our call for today.